Welcome back to another video, you guys. Today we're going to be talking about how to fix being skinny. So if you're a skinny guy with a fast metabolism who's looking to gain weight, gain muscle, this is how you fix essentially being skinny with a fast metabolism. Now, a little bit more about me. I used to be skinny with a fast metabolism as well. I used to run a shitload. I used to run cross country, track and field, all those different kind of things that probably incorporated into me not gaining weight since I was being so active. But for the longest time, I would blame it on my fast metabolism until I started actually getting my eating, my training, and my rest and recovery dialed in to the point where I started seeing more progress the last 3 years of my fitness journey compared to the first 4 years where I started this whole thing. So let's begin the video by talking just more about the first topic here, which is just eating more, plain and simple. I know it sounds like a very basic concept, but there is no complicated or complex answer when it comes to actually gaining weight and gaining muscle. Pretty much just getting the results that you want to see inside of the gym. A lot of guys think they have to do these complex things when it comes to see the result that they want, whether it be through a fitness influencer that they saw online, a coach, whatever it is. But fact of the matter is, if you stick with the basics and be consistent with those basics, you're going to see so much more results at a quote unquote quicker rate, because a lot of people do the wrong things and they end up seeing results later down the road, like myself. But if you do the right things early on and be consistent with it, you're going to be in a lot better position compared to most people, or compared to most skinny guys who are, have no idea what they're doing, and they're just kind of nonchalant about the whole thing, not really taking it as seriously as it could be. But the first thing is just eating more. Most skinny guys complain about eating a lot and not gaining any weight. Some most common reasons for this, and these are the reasons that I came up for myself because I used to do these things a lot, is not actually eating as much as you say you are eating, being mistaken how much you're actually eating, not tracking your eating, and simply just not eating enough. The first two may look the same, but they are actually different. There's a slight nuance. The first one is actually lying to yourself about how much you're eating, or lying to other people in regards to how much you're eating. And the second one is you just have zero clue how much you're actually eating, right? You're probably not tracking your calories, or maybe you're not aware around calories or macros or anything like that, right? And you think that eating 3 meals a day is actually eating a lot, but when in reality is you're not eating as much as you think that you could be eating, or you're not eating as much as you think you are eating. And not tracking your eating, that's just plain and simple. A lot of people just don't track what they're putting inside their bodies in the first place. And when you don't have that data that you need to track meticulously your progress, your eating, how can you ever know where you need to fix some things up, right? How can you know where you need to dial in things a little bit more in terms of your weight stalling, a few weeks consistently, and you need to bump up those calories up a little bit more. And simply not eating enough, again, this just pairs up with not tracking your eating. If you have no clue how much you're eating, then you don't really know how much you're actually eating in general, right? So that means that you're simply not eating enough if you're not seeing any progress at all. So that's why it's so important to track your eating, track everything when it comes to your calories, your macros. MyFitnessPal is a fantastic app to use when it comes to this, so definitely check that out. There's a whole bunch of other ones, but personally, I use MyFitnessPal just because that's the one I've used the longest, and I guess that means I just trust it more. Not training hard enough. This is also a big one that I used to make in terms of mistake. I would not train hard enough. So if you have the eating part down, all that's good to go and consistent, and you know what to do, you're tracking your calories, you're tracking your macros, then you can actually fix up your training next. So essentially, with training, you want to be very purpose driven with your training. You want to make sure you make every rep count, every single rep, every set count, so this way you can actually get the best bang for your buck inside of your training sessions. So don't just swing the weights around from point A to point B. That's not the point of why you're inside the gym. You want to be actually very intentional with your training. So what that means is control the exercise movement all the way through, explode on the way up, and then slow the weight down, or slow down the movement of the weight on the way down of the movement. So have a 3 to 4 second count on the way down on the eccentric part of the movement. Have a good slight pause at the stretch position of the movement, so the bottom portion of the movement, just a second to 2 seconds is more than enough, and then just explode back up. And that's one single rep right there. So if you do that for 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps and you really have some good intensity when it comes to that, you're going to see far more gains than you would have ever seen if you just kept training the way that you did. 4 sets, 12 reps, just swinging the weights around, and that's that. I'm not saying you have to throw up or feel like you're about to pass out or feel like you're, getting dizzy because you're training so hard, but at least take one of your sets till failure and really, exert yourself. Get uncomfortable. Don't just stop when you feel the muscle burn. Keep going when the muscle burns, because after that, the reps following after that, that's where the real growth happens. That's where the real muscle starts to break down. You start to exert yourself. You start to get an outrageous pump. Everything just starts to go to your favor when it comes to your training sessions if you train in this style. So last big point, you just want to make sure you make every single rep count. Now, a lot of people say train the way that you want to train, whatever is more sustainable for you, whatever is the most consistent, allows for you to be the most consistent. And that's something I completely agree with. Please, train it in the way that's fun for you. So if you want to train for strength, go ahead, do the compound lifts, just train for strength. If you want to train for hypertrophy, then this is definitely the way that, in my opinion, you should be training. And there's a lot of science that does back it up. So definitely, if you want to do the research on your own when it comes to that, look it up, go ahead. But if you're doing hypertrophy-based training, then training in this way would be the most beneficial for you. And just the last point here, getting very little recovery. I used to sleep less than 7 hours a night. When I was younger, I used to have, even now, I'm still pretty young now, but I have decent amount of energies now, but opposed to before when I was a teenager and just starting lifting, I had shitloads of more energy than I do now, right? So with that, I could stay up until, like 3 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m., go to school, and then I'd feel fine, and then go to the gym afterwards. In reality, though, getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night is not at all beneficial. If anything, it was hurting me and my progress inside the gym so much more than I realized. So make an intentional effort to get more than 7 hours of sleep per night, because if you get under that, it's actually killing your gains. It's very harmful for you, because the real muscle growth does happen when you're sleeping. I know I said the real muscle growth happens when you're training hard and exerting yourself, but it also does happen when you're sleeping as well, because that's literally your body's chance to recover itself, repair the muscle damage that you've done onto it inside of your training, recharge your own batteries as well, so this way you can actually hit the gym hard the next day for your workout. So please be sure to rest, get plenty of rest, so this way you can get the most gains as you possibly can, have your batteries recharged, so this way you can hit your next workouts really hard, and essentially you can keep up with the momentum that you have built up until this point. That concludes this video for today, though, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what else you want to see from me in terms of information when it comes to bulking. And really, I welcome any fitness content at all as well. So if there's something in particular that you want to see, please let me know in the comments down below. If you are a skinny guy with a fast metabolism who's looking for a more so personalized approach when it comes to gaining muscle, gaining weight, then please be sure to click on the description and the link down below, so this way you can find a good time to speak with me, and we can definitely see if coaching is a fit for you. But until the next one, guys, take care. Peace.